all know Coca-Cola, we all know McDonald's, we all know The Gap and Walmart and Nike, and the list goes on and on and on. And it's no accident. Big international corporations have been expert at getting their messages into your mind for decades. And when you see this logo, what do you think, feel?
Like running.
Sweatshop factories.
Activity, getting out there, enjoying life.
Sports.
Sports, yeah. Positive.
Absolutely.
We started off with this presentation.
Karen Johnson is the Vice President and Art Director at Impact Visual Communications in Nanaimo. She says there's a big difference between a brand and a logo.
It can be the way you answer the phone is part of your brand. The way you deal with customers when they come into your store, the way you have a call-back policy. Maybe you promise to call people back within 5 minutes of leaving a message. Every way you touch your customer is your brand.
While the big corporations know the power of effective branding, the little guys, the local guys, are becoming recognizable in the onslaught. St. Jean's Cannery in Nanaimo has been around for 50 years, and while they're well established and well respected in their field, they are continually focusing on brand.
There has been a focus on branding recently, for sure, as we're trying to sell more direct to customer rather than to stores, or as our business is mainly 75% sport fishing, we want to increase our retail side with online sales and storefront sales. So by doing that, we want to look professional, and so it's good investment to put towards labeling and branding.
And that's what we do for every logo.
Karen says the accelerated growth of technology is playing a big role in smaller companies paying attention to brand. She says the consumer's hunger for knowledge is stronger than ever before.
Everybody is seeing everything, and again, beyond that, social media. People are talking about experiences they've had and what's important to them, things that they find interesting and beautiful and appealing. So therefore, people are paying more attention to, does this company have a website? Do they have a logo? Do they look like the kind of company that I would spend my money with? So I think a lot more research is being done by the consumer. And if the company does not have a presence and they do not have a website, I think people are a little bit more reluctant to spend their money.
And you've obviously chose soft, fluid lines.
Karen is quick to point out that social media is not a sales tool. Rather, it's a way to engage your clients in conversation.
What's happening here is the beginning of fermentation with the cranberries.
When it comes to wine, younger people are drinking more of it. Mooberry Winery, based in Parksville, knows that their clients are people under 30 and women over 40 years old. Their labels, a part of their brand identity, reflect that. They're playful, bold, and unconventional.
Well, I think it says fun. You know, it's something that's a little bit different. I mean, we don't make grape wine, so we have a stigma that we have to overcome to begin with, and until people are willing to taste the wine, there's always a stigma with something that's newer or something that's not as widely as accepted. We don't apologize for who we are. We are different.
You need to attract your ideal client because that is where you're going to mesh well with the client. You're going to understand each other. You have to find the client that's going to buy your product. Who is buying your product? What is that person like? How much do they make a year? What does their family look like? What does their home look like? Do they travel? All of these things, you need to know it.
And people are brands too. We see it every day with big celebrities like Britney Spears and Jennifer Lopez.
They want you to get an image, get an association, essentially perceive something specific when you see their name, like Jennifer Lopez, like Britney Spears,
like Troy Gibson.
When you see the name and you hear the name, you have an automatic perception because of how they've branded themselves. It's from the logo to the imagery, to the smell of the perfume.
Brand power should not be underestimated. Whether you're big business, small business, whether you're selling a product or place or yourself, your brand shows the public who you are. In essence, it's a company's relationship with the consumer. And what do you think when you see that?
Fast food.
Hungry.
I think of lattes, their new dollar lattes.
In Nanaimo for Shaw TV, I'm Kate Bergen.